Okay, hello. Let's make another video. I just looked at the last one I posted and I got 13 likes, so thank you very much for encouraging my learnings and ramblings and just this whole process. Thanks for being here with me. So last time we talked about foot, like plantar fasciitis. Well, mostly just like what to do about it. When we use this ball to roll it out. If you missed that video, it's on my YouTube channel. So go check it out so you're all caught up. And now we're going to do the other side, okay? So you think about it, we got two sides of the coin, two sides of the hand. And even though mostly the bottom part is sore, you still got to do the other side, okay? So for other people, like this might just look like, let's put you down here, my makeshift tripod. This might just look like rolling this out like this on your foot. But if you have if you're used to a lot of pain, then, and your muscles are really sore, this is kind of more what you need. It's kind of hard to angle it, but you need to push down because like this, if I just do this, honestly, it feels a little bit sore. But if I mean, this might even be like a good way to build up to it and just like pulling out, massaging out these, I was gonna call them knuckles, your toe knuckles. Is a really good way to start. And I like to sometimes grab my fingers in between my toes and then pull upwards. Or just kind of like massage in between the toes. So that you get all the muscles in there, which is really good for it too. But then, like I said, just moving it underneath your foot so that you get the right amount of pressure. Sometimes it's hard, and even here, right? In order to get the other side of your foot, you got to roll it over. It's kind of hard to show you from here. So I'm just kind of rolling this way. I'm rolling my foot away from you. This way so you can kind of see what I'm doing. And just rolling this way onto it. So that's what the next step is doing the other side, right? Because you got to kind of take into account what's really going on, right? So for myself, the top of my right foot is really sore. Top of my left foot, not so much, okay? So then you kind of know what's going on. Because the muscles on the top of the foot lead to a certain spot on the leg. It's going to lead to the side of your shin, okay, the side of your lower leg. And then the bottom of the foot, these guys, are going to go to your calf muscles. The bottom, the behind the leg portion, okay? So then you got to work your way up the chain, which means I think if you don't have one of these, a golf ball will work okay, or like your dog's chew toy, but usually they're too compressible and golf balls are kind of too small and they slide out. The next thing that you'll need is one of these rollers. You can get them from like pretty much anywhere nowadays. I am going to make my own in the future because they're going to double for like being able to roll out your spine, kind of like a peanut ball. So that'll be really cool when that happens because I'd like there to be more portable ways. Like you don't need to bring like 10 pieces of equipment with you. Like this should be a little bit more compact. Anyway, you're going to put this down. Oh, now I got rid of my tripod. Okay, new tripod. Hello. Okay, you're going to put this down here. Look, my pants perfectly match the wall. Look at that. It's great. You're going to put this down on the side of your leg. So a lot of people might not have this kind of flexibility. And this might hurt a lot of people too, like way more than it needs to. But for those, especially like either people who do a lot of physical things, athletes or work all day with their bodies, depends on how much you've done of this stuff too, how much like impact you've gotten, that this would not hurt as much, right? Like let's say you do like football, like this will be like, you might have to really get in here, or it might be so sensitive that you'll have to just sit here and just roll it up and down because you've never done this before. So just take it easy on your body, keep in touch with it. Like, don't push yourself to any sort of limit. Like, your body doesn't react that well to just like really blunt forces that are really stressful for it. Yeah, usually like listening to your body works a little bit better, but who am I to tell you what to do? Actually, this feels pretty good too. It just means how sore my muscles are. And if I was just sitting there watching TV, I could totally just sit there and do this. And so those nice ones, let's try this side. So remember, the top of my right foot was sore. This is right for me. And the side, tibialis anterior here, shin muscles were tight for me. So let's check this side. And it actually is not that sore here. Let's add a little more pressure just to see. And I mean, at this point, if you add this much pressure, it is going to be pretty sore, but it's not that sore actually, which is great because this is the leg that I've broken more and sprained. So that means something good to me. It means progress. Yeah, and honestly, there is no right and wrong way of doing this. Like, everyone's body's different, so maybe like your hips are really tight so you can't get into this position. You can find different ways to, you know, maybe you just sit on the ground and you go back and forth. But you really got to think about these muscles, okay? So if you have plantar fasciitis, if you've got Achilles tendonitis, what else? Just like general, anything that hurts down here, okay? You look at the muscles, like what's holding it there, right? Like, you know, this is, rolling out the bottom of the foot is actually like, I don't know if it's doctor recommended, but physio recommended for sure. Okay, and then also looking at the back of the leg here, okay? The calf muscle. These guys are ridiculously tough. Ridiculously tough. The toughest ones in the body, this one, and the upper traps. I heard this thing that if you ever to be, you know, the last person on an island and you didn't know what to eat, or not the last part, but or maybe there's a couple people there. The calves and upper traps are not the tenderest muscles because we use them all the time. We're always walking, balancing on them. And these guys are just the bane of our existence. And basically, like, all of our postural problems come from the upper traps, which everyone calls shoulders, but these are technically shoulders. These are upper traps right there. Okay, and then connect on the back side. Anyway, so you need to roll your calves, okay? You'll kind of find these tender spots, also called trigger points, where you're like, ooh, that spot really hurts. And then maybe I'll just put like more pressure on there. I'll rock back and forth. You might not notice, but I am actually lifting myself up here. So for a lot of people, this is going to be a whole exercise on their own. And for you, and actually just for anyone, I would recommend just doing this. Try to do this 2 times a day, 3 if you can. So like in case you don't hit 3, still hit 2. And do it for like a week. Just pop this, like put this somewhere where you're gonna remember. Sorry, so I ate some, I had an ice cream bar, some little flummy, dairy free, but still the sugars, it gets to me sometimes. Probably shouldn't do it before recording. Anyway, just see how, if you have pain, or even if in general you just like, sometimes you don't have pain, but these things are just tight. Like, we need to upkeep them all the time. Like, we are on our calves every single day. We are holding up this entire frame, and then on top of that, we're running, or we're chasing after children, or I mean, it's kind of the same thing. One's for a goal, I guess, at different speeds. But basically, what I'm saying is that we're always load bearing on our feet, and we're not doing it in the proper position. So we're doing it an off-kilter type of way that puts stress in the wrong places. And things get a little bit gunked up. So providing movement for the body and just figuring out how to get in tune with your body is so important. Like, how often do you guys touch your feet and just be like, oh, I realize right there is a sore spot. And I do that and I feel it up the back, especially in this position, right? So up the back of my leg and into my hamstrings. And so one of my osteo theories, principles, something like that, I don't know, we should prove it, I guess that's a theory first, is that I want to take the body, pardon me, into a full range, and then I guess almost like specifically impinge the range, like compress, I don't know, like just hold it up in a specific spot to restrict, purposely restrict the range. And then I can feel where a sticky point is, right here. And I can feel it attached into my hamstring. So I can mobilize this anywhere along the chain. Okay, I'm looking at the whole, it's getting intense here. I'm looking at the whole chain. Okay, so I'm not just dealing with the foot, I'm dealing with the whole side that connects to it. And if I release it on every single side, or every single spot that it's stuck, then it will become unstuck. It's just logic. That one's not a theory, that's a principle. Okay, so you roll the calf. Roll this calf. This calf, much tighter. Make sure you roll different sides of the calf. Okay, this side of calf, okay? All sides of calves, okay? I also like to kind of roll my foot around, right? You'll find it. Just dig in there, do the whole muscles from the bottom to the top. Usually the muscle, you have like these tendons on the ends of the muscles. I had to think about that for a second. Ligaments attach muscle to muscle. Tendons at either end of the muscle attaching to the bone that don't really like to be rolled as much. You probably won't hurt yourself, but and sometimes you actually need to roll them because the tissue just gets really sticky and sticks together. So yeah, you actually do need to roll them for sometimes. But if this is your first time rolling, just roll the muscles. Just here, if it feels like, you gotta figure out what's a good pain and a bad pain, right? Like, you know, like if I pinch myself to a certain extent, like, you know, it would be a massage. If I pinch too hard, just it's not helpful. So yeah, you're gonna roll your calf. Okay, get that in there. It's gonna feel so good. I actually want to keep doing this. So most of my calf is released now. Just this inside is still a little tight. Inside will be tight because normally we stand with our feet out. Okay, or we'll stand with one foot out. Or we'll walk with our knees kind of in. Like this is actually like our posture. When I squat, my knee will be in, right? Like this. This creates that tightness because every time you're walking forward, especially guys love standing like this. But every time you're walking forward, you're moving, like the tight line is here, right? So you need to change the way that you walk in their movements, but you also need to change the muscle so you can get into that kind of range of motion. Reteach it. Yeah, so once you're done doing this, you can actually I'll show you guys another one too. Okay. You can put this behind your hamstring. You can do it this way. Ow. But I'm just ducking now just to get into the frame. You don't have to do that. You can normally stand up or whatever's comfortable for you actually. This takes a little bit of pressure. Having my hands down here takes a little pressure off my, and for how much weight is on this thing. This is actually quite a bit for me. So I just rolled my calf and I was like, okay, this feels pretty good. And then that was my other side. Do you like my pants? They say, "Le happy." Apparently it was a misprint my mom got from I don't know if it was a consignment store or something like that. But I really like them. It was supposed to be happy, but it says "Le happy," which is great. Je parle français, so I understand. Je comprends. So yeah, you're basically just gonna do this, and I'm realizing on this side, on my right side, the calf muscle is still really tight on the medial, so medial is the part that's closest in the middle of the body, on the medial side. So I've twisted this, I don't know if you can see it. See, I've twisted this, so it's on the inside of the calf. And I'm gonna make sure, I can even do it this way. So right now, this will only really work with pants. You guys probably want pants for this. I'm actually sliding this down. You can't see it because it's so slow. my calf. Oh my goodness. I think I've just unlocked the way to roll out your calves. I actually haven't done this one before. This is great. You're learning something new. So you guys are learning something new too. That's really what I want to make my YouTube channel about, is me learning and you learning. And I'm trying to find a way to do this organically in a way that's doesn't put so much pressure on myself to make perfect thumbnails and to script the whole thing. So I'm glad that you guys like this. At least the format. I don't know, you're here for some reason. Subscribe for more. For whatever reason you're here for. Yeah, follow me on my journey. And just, yeah, tell me what you're doing, what you're liking, you know, what's good, what's up with your day. Yeah, just tell me how this works. So let's see what I'm doing, right? And this kind of gets your hamstrings too. So just play around with it, right? Like right now I'm like, okay, maybe this will work a little bit better if I cross this over, right? So I'm here, just to see if I can get the leverage then on the backside. I'm noticing that forward works a little better, up on toes, not up on toes, right? So if you think about the muscle is just sliding from one end to another. So here, if I pull this way, muscle slides that way. If I pull this way, muscle also kind of slides that way too. Sorry, I'm gonna have this the other way around. Okay, so if I bring my hand this direction, the muscle will slide this way because it's stretching, okay? If I bring the hand back, it's bunching the muscle, okay? It's contracting it. So what I'm doing here, this is actually really good. Oh my goodness. I've been trying to figure out how the best way to roll and massage your own calves are, because it's one of the hardest muscles, if not, I would say the hardest muscle to roll. This is amazing, actually. So I got this from, this is the other idea. I can't remember whose idea this is. Maybe Supple Leopard. Get the ball in there, okay? But I don't really like this one as much. Well, it's very pinpoint, but it's not, it only works on the straight line because you can't just put this on the side, right? The roller, that's why the roller is good, because you can kind of shift it, lean it to one side so you can get in there. Yeah, so that's probably good for today, honestly. That's almost 17 minutes right there. Great. Yeah, and this is really good. This hamstring actually feels a lot, so then get in there too. And then I'll make the next video for the upper legs and hips. Yeah, so come back and join me for that one. Hey, bye. Have fun.